Star Trek Online has officially revealed the new Alliance ship coming to this year's anniversary event, and this thing looks cool. We also got some new info on the new event that's coming up, the King and Collective. This is going to be the anniversary event for this year, and this will be awarding the new Alliance Rex pilot escort. So now we know it's going to be a pilot escort. To participate in this event, you'll have to do either the new episode, Scorpion's Abyss, or the new TFO, which is the reenactment of Wolf 359, or you'll have to participate in the previous episode, Scorpion's Abyss, or the other TFO that was released in the last update, Guillotine. And because this is also the anniversary event, you can also participate in the Omega Particle Stabilization minigame to earn progress as well. This minigame is also how you earn the Omega Molecule crafting components, which are used to craft the Omega tech upgrades. Now, these tech upgrades used to be really good, like these used to be like the best tech upgrades in the game, but that kind of changed when Phoenix tech upgrades were introduced, and even more so now that they're just available year-round now. However, the Omega tech upgrades do have some interesting variations. They have ones that are just like dump all into crit chance or dump all into crafting progression. So you've got some options that you don't have with the Phoenix upgrades. So whether you want to really invest in grinding these for the sake of upgrades is really up to you. Now, anyway, onto the thing that we are all here about. The new ship, the Alliance Pilot Escort. Look at this thing. This thing is ridiculous looking, and I love it. So a while back, Kale had been teasing about the anniversary event, saying, just, oh my god, clearly indicating that he's really into the ship. And later on, he also confirmed that he really liked the stats on this thing. And as soon as he said this, okay, so Kale really likes the look of the ship, and he really likes the stats of it. My bet was that it's some sort of cross between a bird of prey and a Jem'Hadar attack ship, and that it's going to be a pilot ship, because Kale loves the Klingon bird of prey, and Kale likes pilot ships. And I was right about one of those things, because it is going to be a pilot escort, which, well, I'm going to reserve judgment for it. I haven't been the biggest fan of pilot in the past, but at the same time, pilot's not nearly as bad as it used to be, and also, event ships aren't nearly as bad as they used to be. The last two have actually been really great. But the thing I was wrong about, however, was I thought this was going to be a combination of the Jem'Hadar attack ship and the Klingon bird of prey. But I was only half right there. It's a combination of the attack ship and the Defiant, which is not a combination I thought would work, but I'm into this. This looks really cool. Like, once again, the Stowe art team just knocks it out of the park. This is not an idea I thought could ever work, but holy crap, this thing looks really cool. Also, when they revealed the name Rex, my idiot self made a connection to the V-Rex, but yeah, a bunch of you in the comments totally called it. Yeah, it's Dukon Rex. I don't know why I didn't connect that myself. That makes so much more sense. Now, they didn't release stats along with this, so this isn't going to be a first impressions review. That's probably going to be coming out later this week. However, we do get some interesting details in this description of the ship. The Alliance Pilot Escort, much like the great Dukon Rex himself, is a bridge between quadrants. It draws primarily from the Jem'Hadar attack fighter and the Defiant, and is employed similarly. Groups of 3 made of a lead ship and 2 wingmates. Fully capable of reconnaissance, patrol, screening for capital ships, and strike missions of their own, they are versatile, nimble, and deadly. The Rex often commands entire squadrons of escorts in battle, coordinating them from the front of the tip of the spear with its superior maneuverability and ability to strip enemy defenses before a devastating strafing run. Like all ships in the Alliance, it stands in testament to what can be achieved even if the most different of species learn to set aside those differences and stand together. Then even the most impossible victories come within reach. As all Jem'Hadar know, victory is life. So as I said, we don't have a stats blog yet, but this part right here really spoke to me, because is this thing gonna have the wingman mechanic? Because if so, I'm gonna be absolutely ecstatic. Because I've said in the past a number of times that the wingman mechanic, in my opinion, is Star Trek Online's coolest ship mechanic, but at the same time, also its most underutilized, because it's only ever used on Jem'Hadar Vanguard ships. We haven't gotten a lot of new Jem'Hadar ships lately, and, you know, at the same time, I'm also a big fanboy of flying Federation ships. But again, the wingman mechanic is my favorite, so one thing I have been absolutely begging for is to have the wingman mechanic applied to ships other than Vanguard ships. Or at least some variation of it. And I'm wondering if that's what we're seeing here. Is this going to have a direct copy-paste of the Jem'Hadar wingman mechanic that we usually see on the Vanguard ships? So it would have the usual Vanguard warships flying alongside it? Or is this going to be a new version of it that has other Alliance ships flying alongside with it, and possibly even different abilities? It's impossible to say without the stats blog, and even then, this is still very much an assumption on my part, because I wouldn't call this little bit of flavor text a guarantee that this will have the wingman mechanic, but if it does, I will be absolutely ecstatic. So, some guesses and some hopes on what we're going to see on this ship. Obviously, it's a pilot escort, but it's going to be an event ship, so I'm guessing this is going to be like the past couple of event ships where it's only going to have a lieutenant commander pilot seat, but at the same time, it will still have the actual pilot mechanic. And if I'm right about this thing having the wingmate mechanic as well, this will be one of only 2 ships in the game to have both of those mechanics. This and the legendary Jem'Hadar attack ship. Now, this also makes reference to commanding entire squadrons of escorts in battle, which makes me think that this could end up having a secondary command seat, which I'm honestly hoping it doesn't. We already have 2 Alliance ships with Lieutenant Commander command seats, the Khitomer and the Tamar. But with this ship already being a pilot ship, that means that the command seat will likely only be lieutenant or lower, and lieutenant level for command does absolutely nothing for a ship. Personally, I'm really hoping that secondary seat is an intel seat, because that also feeds into the whole reconnaissance, patrol, / screening aspect of the ship, and an intel seat would make the ship more optimal for energy weapon builds, because then you'll be able to use override subsystem safeties, or at the very least you'll be able to put on additional unconventional systems triggers. Miracle Worker or Temporal would also be good secondary options as well, because again, you can use the Miracle Worker seating to further buff your energy weapons with narrow sensor bands and or mixed armament synergy, or with Temporal, you could at the very least get additional unconventional systems triggers. Like, genuinely, I'm really hoping that second specialization seat is just anything but command at this point. But yeah, without an actual stats blog, a lot of this is just speculation, but that's what I'm really hoping to see. Oh, actually, there's one more thing I should probably go over before we wrap up. Console players, the Shrike is finally coming to Xbox and PlayStation. This is going to be added to the Infinity promo boxes, I'm pretty sure tomorrow being the 16th. Oh, it's almost 5 in the morning. Never mind, it's the 16th now. So this should be going live later today for you guys. So if you have an Infinity promo box lying around, you'll be able to pick up the Shrike, or you'll be able to pick this up in the next event campaign, which I imagine is going to be a popular choice for the next one. So yeah, that is what we know about the Alliance Rex Pilot Escort. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Like I said, I'm pretty interested in the ship. I am hopeful about it, but at the same time, again, really hoping it doesn't have a secondary command seat, because at the lieutenant level, command has very little use at that level. Seriously, anything but a command seat on that thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the ship down below, and while you're down there, be sure to like and subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. If you'd like to further support the channel, you can hit that join button to become a member, or if you're ever shopping on the Epic Game Store, be sure to use my content creator code STU1701. Either way, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.